Everybody, Zerofatzreturns coming at you on behalf of adventuresontheriver.com. Guys, I got a special presentation for you right now. This is something I like to call 5 ways to get people to read every single page of your Kindle ebook. All right, now we'll talk really quick about why that matters and who really cares. Okay, so what am I talking about? Why does it matter if people read every page? Okay, I'm talking about the Kindle Unlimited program, you guys. Kindle Unlimited is a subscription program that allows you to access a large selection of Kindle books. With the Kindle Unlimited subscription, you can access hundreds of thousands of Kindle books, thousands of audiobooks, and WhisperSync for voice. Okay, so you can keep up to 10 books at a time, and there are no due dates. Okay, there has been a policy change in the Kindle Unlimited program. It's basically a membership program for people to be able to check out books, who don't want to buy all the books. They read a lot, they don't want to buy all the books. This allows them to borrow, right? It's a really great program for people, especially for people who like to read a lot. Okay, what does that have to do with what we're talking about? Well, this is aimed at people who publish Kindle books, right? Here's how you get paid for Kindle KU borrows. Okay, royalties in Kindle Unlimited and Kindle Owner lending libraries. Qualify for royalty payments. You're eligible for royalty payments from Kindle Unlimited and the Kindle Owner's lending library for each page an individual customer reads in your book for the first time. Each page. They just changed that in July, you guys. They just changed that in July. They just changed it last month. Okay, a customer can read your book as many times as they like, but we will only pay you for the number of pages read the first time the customer reads them. It may take months for a customer to read all the pages in your book, but no matter how long it takes, we'll still pay you once it happens. This is true even if your KDP select enrollment period has expired and you choose not to re-enroll. Reporting will show Kindle Unlimited and Kindle Owners lending library pages read in your sales page dashboard, report by marketplace and title. Okay, blah blah blah. I know you guys don't want to hear about all that stuff. Royalties. As with your monthly reports, you get one combined royalty payment for both KU and KOLL, paid by the same payment schedule. We review the size of the KDP Select Global Fund each month. Listen, so those of you who care about the 5 ways I'm going to talk about, you already pretty much know about this change. You're probably trying to figure out, how do I get people to read my book now, because it didn't used to be like this. Okay, it didn't used to be like this. What it boils down to is, for a lot of people, this means they're going to make less money off of their Kindle books, especially if their Kindle books are targeted by borrowers a lot. Certain categories tend to get hit harder with the Kindle Unlimited program. Okay, here's some of the categories that I found to get hit harder. Okay, contemporary romance, recipe books, short fiction, health solution, short books. Like if I wrote a book like 15 ways to get rid of your flabby arms, right? Just a real short 25 to 30 page ebook that helps people get rid of their flabby arms, right? That's a book that gets hit hard by the KU borrowing program. Okay, so those are affected genres. But that being said, 5 ways to get people to read every page in your book. That's going to help all you authors. Okay, it's going to help everybody. So let's get into it a little bit. I'm talking about putting a contingency in your books to maximize revenue, because now it's about getting them to see every page in your book. So we want a contingency plan. If they buy your book, we want a contingency plan in place to get them to look at every page in your book. Okay, so I got 5 different ways here to go about doing that. Okay, code method, quiz method, the skimmer's bait, short field and lead, and break the fourth wall. Okay, these are my 5 strategies to getting people to read every page in your Kindle ebook. All right, so let's get into it. Let's talk about code method. Okay, in the code method, you're going to announce extra content at a secret website location in the front of the book. Like you're going to have your before chapter 1, like in the very beginning of the book, you're going to say, hey, thanks for picking up this book. I'd like to tell you, as a very, very special bonus, I have extra content for you at a secret website location. I got an extra ebook, or I got an interview with the author, or I got this, or I got that. Something really cool related to the book. Okay, you got it at this extra location. All right. Now, the way they're going to get to this secret website is in your book. throughout the book. Those are going to be like letters or code. And when they gather all these letters or code, it's going to give them like the URL of the secret website, right? So basically, like imagine if like every page had like an extra letter at the lower left-hand corner, and the letter didn't make any sense. It was just like an A down there for no reason, right? But if they flip through the book and they spelled out all those letters together, they spelled out the name of the URL of this website, and when they type that in, boom, it takes them to the secret website. Now this website, it's going to have an opt-in. They're not just going to go right to the secret area. There's going to be an opt-in so you can collect their email address, okay? And then they're going to enter the email in gladly because they just want their bonus. And, boom, it's going to take them to the secret area and they're getting all this extra cool stuff. It's going to be awesome. So, like I said, this is going to build your email list. Letter of the URL could be in the upper right-hand corner of every other page. Together, they would all spell out the website address, secret location. Basically, it's like what I just said, guys. You can do this any number of ways. However you want to do code, you could have like a little, you could have like a code decryptor in the back of the book. This symbol means this letter, this symbol means this letter, and then you put symbols at the chapter titles. You can do it however you want to do. The point is you put codes in the book to where they basically are inspired to flip through the whole book to figure out, what the secret URL is of your website address. That's the code method. It works really, really good. You need to focus a little bit on your back end with this method. You need to focus on what you're going to put in that secret area because you have to be able to inspire them to bother doing the code. A lot of people will do it just because it's fun to do something extra with the book and, see what's back there. But if you can put something good back there, like a little prequel to your book, it can really do wonders. You can build that email list so that you can promote to them future releases. Number 2, quiz method. The quiz method is a little bit like the code method. In this method, you're basically going to announce a quiz at the end of the book. You're going to announce this at the beginning of the book. You're going to say, hey, thanks for picking up this book. As an extra special bonus, I want you to know there's secret content on a website, but the website is hidden. And there's a quiz at the end of this book. If you answer all the questions correctly, you're going to be able to decipher the secret location of this content. There's a whole other ebook in there waiting on you. It's like the sequel to this book. You're going to love it. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever you put in the secret area, right? The quiz would reveal the secret website location with extra content when solved correctly. So the answers would be in the book, right? You're going to force the reader to flip to various points to solve the quiz. Okay, don't make this too hard, you guys. If it's too hard, they won't do it. Like an example of the quiz would be like, hey, in what chapter did John first meet Laura? What chapter was it that John first met Laura, right? Oh, what chapter was that? I remember when that happened. What chapter in the book? And they flip through and they're flipping through the pages. They're trying to figure out what chapter that was in that John first met Laura. I wouldn't take it down to page number because that could be frustrating. Even if they read the whole book legitimately, I mean, who wants to look through for just a page number that something happened on? Unless you're going to say something like, hey, what page number does chapter 3 start on, right? And then they're going to flip back to chapter 3 and figure out what page number. But, just be careful. Don't make it too hard. That's the point. If it's too hard, they won't do it, okay? The quiz would ask questions about things that happened in the book and where in the book they happened. Okay, now how do you relate this to like a secret website? You could basically say, at the end of the quiz, the first letter of each answer is a letter in the URL of the secret website, like, secretwebsite.com or whatever, and like the first answer would start with an S, right, for secret, and second answer would start with an E, third answer would start with a C, and the first letter would just spell out the URL to the website, right? It's basically a quiz, and it's got like a hidden code in it. Now, this is the kind of like interactive thing that's going to get people to flip through your book, right? So it's very, very cool, and it works. Next, What goes in the secret location, right? A short story related to your book can go in there, like a prequel or a short story with the side characters in your book. That's really cool. And I'm kind of talking about fiction there. An interview with the author, right? You could do an interview. This could be a written interview. This could be This could be like an audio podcast interview. This could be a video interview, okay? A video with the author where he or she just talks about the making of the book, basically where it came from, what inspired them to write the book. That's a really cool one. I've used that before. An audio version of the book is really, really good. It's really good. An audio version of the book is very, very popular. Okay, read by the author, or you can go over to Fiverr and hire someone to read it by a professional. That works really good. Either or. Audio version of the book's very popular. Okay, this is not just about read count. This is not just about read count, you guys. With this back end thing, it's not just about read count. It's about building a database of customers. All right, your focus is on the email list, but using these methods will get people to flip through your whole book, and it'll get your read count up. Okay, so you'll maximize your revenue through the KU program. 3. Skimmers bait. Okay, illustrations or pictures that relate directly to your story at the beginning of each chapter. Okay, illustrations or pictures that relate directly to your story at the beginning of each chapter. Now these pictures are going to inspire skimmers to flip through all the pages to see the pictures at least, right? Even if they don't feel like reading your book, when they see the first picture, they're going to flip through to see the other pictures, all right? It's psychological. A skimmer is scanning for context clues to decipher meaning without reading every single word, okay? Pictures are worth a lot to a skimmer. This is a subconscious thing. They will flip through the whole thing just to see the pictures, right? Don't put them in random locations. Skimmers can be lazy, and that is frustrating, right? They will give up on it. You got to put the pictures in predictable places. The first page of every chapter is a great place to do it. You might be thinking, how do I find pictures that relate to my book? Honestly, I mean, if you want good ones, I mean, just go to Fiverr and buy them. You're going to pay $5 an illustration. If you got 10 chapters in your book, then you got to buy 10 illustrations. You're going to pay an extra $45. It's going to be worth a lot more to you than $45. Okay, you're going to maximize your revenue. If you know an artist that could draw them for you, that's awesome. Good on you. If you have to, you can buy stock images or get free stock images. If you do that, man, make sure your images are cool and make sure they somehow relate to your story or your book. If they don't, it's not going to work. If your images don't relate to your book and they're just generic and stupid, no one's going to flip through your book to see them, right? If you got some really cool artwork illustration in there that relates to the stuff going on in your book, people are going to flip through to see your images, okay? So Skimmers bait works with cool images. The images have to be cool. All right, so like I said, this might cost you a little bit extra money. It's a good investment. It's a good investment. It's going to increase the value of your book. It's going to get everybody skimming through every single page. Okay, very, very cool. Next, short field and lead. This is something anybody can do without any investment. You keep your chapters very short, all right? Keep your chapters very short, and in combination with that, always lead into the next chapter at the end of the previous chapter. An example, okay? All right, guys. So that is how you fill up a cup with water. Now that we know how to do that, in the next chapter, we're going to be getting into how to turn that water into Kool-Aid. I'll see you guys in chapter 5, right? Simple as that. Like every chapter will end like that. Every chapter will kind of end with you kind of summing up what you just showed them how to do, or what just happened, and then kind of lead into the next chapter, right? And this works really good for nonfiction. With fiction, you got to get a little bit more creative with it, but look, shows like The Walking Dead do it all the time. Shows like freaking Game of Thrones. Watch shows like Game of Thrones. They do it on whole freaking seasons, man. The whole season will end on a freaking cliffhanger, and you'll be unsatisfied needing to watch the next season to figure out what happens. They do it all the time. Short field and lead, right? Short field and lead. Keep your chapters short. Always lead into the next thing, right? Don't end a chapter. Don't end chapters at a very, very good place to put a bookmark. End chapters at a place where you really want to read at least the first page of the next chapter to figure out what happened, right? So end your chapters on cliffhangers, basically. Okay, These two things combined inspires people to keep reading. Okay, that's number 4. Number 5, break the fourth wall. Okay, in theater and in acting and movies, breaking the fourth wall always meant that a character in the play or a character in the movie will suddenly realize their fictional nature, right? And they would talk to the audience, right? And they kind of break that fourth wall. The fourth wall being like, you know, the space between the audience and the stage, right? Um, so what does breaking the fourth wall mean when you're writing a book? Basically, you can use annotations to tell a second story from the author's perspective at the beginning of each chapter, like off to the side, like an annotation off to the side, where maybe the author talks about the writing of that chapter, that particular chapter in the book. Oh, you know, man, I remember when I first wrote this, first wrote this chapter, I had to rewrite it 3 times before I finally finished it. I was at such a place in the book where I wasn't sure what was going to happen, and my dog ate my first initial copy of the chapter. It was insane. You know, just a simple little annotation at the beginning that kind of tells a story about what's going on in the book from the author's perspective. The problem is you're kind of breaking the fourth wall when you do that, and if you don't do it right, it could really kind of mess things up. Like I said, this doesn't work out for everything. Be careful breaking the fourth wall. When done right, this can get your skimmers to flip through each chapter just to read the mini story being told by the author about the book, right? You know, you'll get your skimmers just flipping through the chapters to read that little mini story because it's easy to read it and it's interesting, right? Now, when it's done wrong, you can pull the reader right out of the experience and screw the flow of your book up. Okay, so it works great for nonfiction. Breaking the fourth wall works really good for nonfiction. It's a lot more tricky to do it with fiction. You got to be very, very careful breaking the fourth wall when you're writing fiction. Okay, um, okay. So the 5 ways again: code method, quiz method, skimmer's bait, short field and lead, and breaking the fourth wall. These are 5 ways that you can inspire people to flip through every single page in your book, thus increasing your revenue, you know, maximizing your revenue. So they're actually getting paid for those KU borrows, right? In conclusion, think outside of the box, you guys. There's a lot more than 5 ways to make this happen. Getting people to flip through all the pages is not that hard, all right? You just need to think about it. With just a few minor adjustments, you can be making more money on your existing books that are being borrowed like crazy through KU. I have a ton of recipe books that get borrowed through Kindle Unlimited, and like, yeah, this new thing that's taken effect has affected me with those. So it's something, you know, something I need to try to implement with those. Okay. So anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. I will see you guys inside adventuresontheriver.com. That's where we talk about stuff like this a lot. If you like this one, please give me a like. Please give me a share. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you get a chance, get on over there to adventuresontheriver.com. Check out my blog at lifeandtimes@zerofats.adventuresontheriver.com. I have no more shameless plugs for you. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.